Welcome everyone to Hammered and Cheese, where we are going to start a night of shenanigans. I personally started my shenanigans earlier today with 7 grams of mushrooms. Ta-da!
I started my shenanigans about an hour ago. This is now my third and a half glass of whiskey.
You'd think his face would be more red. I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. This is Cole Clayton.
The reason it's a
Welcome.
third and a half, even though this is full, is because I lost a half a glass of whiskey somewhere in my house. I don't know where. I looked everywhere. It's
Uh,
just gone. Like,
you know what the funny thing is? Having been to his house, people, you'll see like a half full bottle of booze. Then you turn around, look back, and it's just completely empty. All of a sudden, you're like, "What
I
the
think it's
hell?"
my sober self hiding it for my drunk self later. I think that's what it is because I
Yeah,
always find it later when I'm out of booze and I'm sad and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
another glass.
Like I feel like there's a certain amount of go between like your subconscious is like you're gonna need this later. It's fine. Just pretend it never happened. And you're like, "Are you sure?" And it's like, "Yeah." What's up, walkie talkies? You need? How you doing, buddy? But yeah, like you kind of just realize you're like, oh, you're like, man, that kind of sucks. And then you turn and you're the funny thing is that happens, and you'll look at a place that you've looked all day long, and you're like, hey, there's my whiskey. And you're like,
It just magically, yeah, it magically appears. It wasn't actually there the whole time. It just
no,
somehow like grew legs and moved there to make you crazy.
it's the same idea behind like your brain doesn't show your nose through your eyes. Like it knows it's there. Just ignore it until you have to pick it. It's fine. Just, you know, making ragu. Brah.
Ooh,
I mean,
what
listen,
is ragu? Because I know that's a term for spaghetti sauce. Is that what you're making?
I mean, I would assume as much. He's Italian, so who knows? Either way,
Ragu.
it's criminal and probably shenanigans. That's what he's making.
Ragu.
Yeah. He
Yes,
said, yes,
sir.
sir. It's a meat sauce.
I have
Also, too,
pizza sauce.
yeah, which is not the same.
It's just cheap tomato sauce. I don't like for whatever reason. If you buy pizza sauce, it's cheaper than getting tomato sauce.
Which
Which
is
is like I'm like,
ridiculous.
how do you add stuff to it and it suddenly drops in price? It makes me think that this is undesirable.
I mean, yeah, that's correct. When I read pizza dip, I originally thought you were just making dip with pizza ingredients, but with no pizza. I
That's
mean,
exactly what we're making. Actually,
like, kind of.
that's basically what we're making. It's a little. There's a few more steps involved than probably what you think there is, but yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, almost exactly.
I mean, oh, okay. So walkie talkies are neat. Just sent me a picture of the ragu he's making, and I kind of hate. I'm in
Throw
the
it up.
process, sir. I'm doing it. Just shut your fucking yapper, and I'll get it done. You twat. Okay, let's see here. Also, too, if you'd like, feel free to go to Cole's channel and buy him a shot because what he needs is more alcohol.
Oh yeah, so it's we're doing. I don't have any pudding or Jello today. So $2 vodka shots. I got where the fuck did it go?
Also, too, in case anyone wanted to know, I went to his place. I went to his place and he forced those pudding shots on me. They were delicious, I will admit. However, you have to already be a little bit drunk to be willing to take one. Like just
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
they're old. I had to throw them out. Throw the rest out.
It's not just that, they just don't look good. They
Well, they
look
don't.
and also you got to get your tongue like all the way up in there, which I'm like I think that that's a him thing, but you know, I'm very fat, so I'm like, yeah, I've had to put my tongue in things. That's mostly it's been for Jello and or pudding, so I was okay with
For
it.
me, it's
For him,
practice for
yeah,
later. You know,
for
'cause I talk a lot of shit. I gotta back it up. If you know what I mean.
it's basically for buttholes. Also, too, so this is the ragu that's being made. Jesus, how good does that look, right?
I'm so hungry now. Was it gonna what walkie talkie? Are you putting it on spaghetti? Are you making it for lasagna? Like what are you making it with?
Saying twat is crazy. Why is
Setting
saying
pot is
twat?
crazy.
No. Have you met some of the people I hang out with? All twats. It's been cooking for 7 hours now. Let it rest till tomorrow. I mean,
I've never cooked sauce that long.
oh, I can only get so hard. Like, stop talking. I can't. That's like this is the thing too. Is like with certain meat sauces. Like you go like a lot of people. I'm offended by this. I'm not even a wop or anything. But yeah. Oh, make it. He said masking lasagna. He said making
With the
tomorrow.
bechamel, so cheese
Yeah.
sauce. Yummy.
Which, listen, you're both
He's doing too much. He's
charlatans.
doing too much in a good way.
I
Like,
mean,
he's working his ass off, and I feel bad for him right now. Is
I
what I'm
feel
trying
like
to say.
he's really trying to sell the hey, would you like to touch my wiener? Which I mean, aren't we all?
He's
But
making that for a lady or a guy. I don't know your orientation based off of your icon picture, but I don't want to, prejudge.
your mom says, "LOL, Gabe." I mean, yeah, you should. I feel like we should. Like the idea of calling people Karens or Kevins. Yeah, just call them a twat or a cunt. There's no reason to be weird about it.
Because I feel like Karen has more like power these days. Like
And
if
it
you
clearly shouldn't. It
right.
clearly shouldn't. Okay.
Well, we've used the top shelf shit too much. Like calling somebody a cunt. It doesn't have the power it used to. 20 years ago, that was the end of the conversation. You call
Yeah.
somebody
If
now
you
that's the
said cunt,
beginning of
people
the
go.
conversation in a lot of situations.
Oh, you guys can taste my Italian sausage.
I already got them. I'm good. This is my Italian sausage right here.
I mean, I'm gonna start smoking meat soon, so why not? Does poo face work? I mean, I feel like
no, it doesn't.
it's that's like there are definitely retarded children around, so you use poo face because they're just gonna repeat whatever you say. So you're just like, all right, just call somebody a poo face, right? Because you don't want a bunch of idiot kids going twat 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 twat. You're like, yeah, that's how you ruin it by saying it constantly. But in my defense, everyone is a twat, so kind of goes both ways.
Twat has been ruined because everyone is a twat. So we use it too much by calling people twat too much.
It's a chicken or the egg type thing. Are there too many twats, or did we lower the standard of twats?
You know what the problem is? The problem is too many twats. What is the word? Reproduce faster than smart people. Smart people are like, I'm not gonna have any more kids. Or dumb people are like, let's have more kids. Let's have all the kids. Let's just keep going. Just
like, yeah, like there's definitely an argument for twats breeding twats. That's it's also like you are escalating the twatness, because I'll tell you, there is nothing more twatty than the offspring of a twat, because those kids get smart. They get smart real quick, and they will clap back like bam, and you're just like, oh, and then they offend, and the best part is then they offend the twatty, and you're like, shenanigans. The whole thing is thing. What's up, Serge? How you doing, buddy?
my kid, your kids sneak up on you. Their intelligence. My 8-year-old son. You probably, if you watch every other weekend meals on Saturday, every other Saturday, he's on there. But every once in a while, he'll hit me with some like knowledge that I didn't think he had yet, and like he's like, "Yo, so like, why does my Uncle Grayson live with you, but he don't go to work?" And I'm like,
yeah, see that I would be like, you should ask Grayson.
like,
ask Grayson directly.
Because your dad's a sap. Like that's all it comes down to, bud. Like.
Yeah. He picks up he's like a shelter. He just picks up randos and is like, well, they need some kindness. Interestingly enough, when I was there, your mom called and was like, hey, see if Dino can take a parakeet. Like, no, I can't. I'm crossing a border, and I'm also on a bus. Not my bus, just a bus.
My mom's always trying to give away like wildlife.
Just like, kill it, cook it, and eat it. Just be done with it, okay?
Cook it and eat it. All right, so let's get to the show.
All right. So
first thing we're gonna do, I'm putting fucking bacon on this shit. Like we ain't even playing today.
Ah, yes.
All right, go ahead. Put my pan on like a medium-ish,
All right.
a medium-ish, not quite medium, but not quite below medium either.
So you're starting with what some might call a lardon, which is just getting everything ready with bacon and bacon fat.
Yeah,
No one would take Clay when he lives with me either. I mean, that's rude, but yeah, I don't.
Clay. I don't know who this Clay person is.
Mm, I mean,
I wouldn't take him either.
I mean, shenanigans. That's fair. Like they can't get him out of that apartment now. That's fine.
Fucking for sure.
Putting anything on a pot/pan or just placing the bacon. I mean,
so I'm cutting it and I'm gonna throw it right in the pan. Let it kind of crisp up. You know, because like I'm not a big fan of crispy bacon. Like I like a softer bacon for like maybe a BLT or something. But in this case, since it's gonna be more of a topping, we're probably gonna want crispier bacon, especially considering that this is gonna be a dip.
Yeah.
You're gonna want more. You're gonna want to know the bacon is there. You know, so.
Well, you want to have extra elements. So your mom said, "Oh fuck, my bad." Hilariously, Kyle responded with, "I'm pretty sure someone did take him to Florida." Boom.
Somebody tried.
Dang.
Yeah, consider that. My mom's over here talking shit. She's like, I couldn't give Clay away. But then she wants to be like, oh, well, yeah, well, there was that one time he was stolen, but then I took him back just to try and give him away.
Stolen, and I didn't go looking for 6 months. You're like, that's also rude. But
she was looking. She just didn't find me for 6 months.
Okay, but
a long way from Texas.
Okay, let's be honest, though. Like, it's not like hide and seek went bad. At the end of the day, you're like, okay, I'm going to bed. Where is my child? It's a little bit confusing. I mean, you know, Kyle said,
that's not at all how that went, for the record.
Of course not. But you know what? I like messing with your mom because you know, she being from good old Texas, it's
She hates that shit. Y'all are gonna get me killed. And one day I'm just not gonna show up to the show. And then you're going to read on the news, local comedian dies by stabbing from mother because it's the shit y'all said.
See, Kyle said the same thing. She looked behind the couch and gave up. She's like, he'll show up. That's fine. When he's hungry, he'll show up. 3 months later, she was like,
I'm pretty sure that's how he got away with me for so long. She's like, he'll turn up eventually. And then once like 11 o'clock, she's like, they're usually here for dinner by 10 p.m.
Right.
Usually here by 10 p.m. Something's not right.
So hilariously, in the 80s and 90s, like there were commercials that were like, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? And this was like a nationwide, no, it was US and Canada. Okay. This was on TV every goddamn day where they're like, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? And you're like, yeah, what kind of reminder is that? Like, what, bro? That's that right there is where you're like, hey, I feel like society started to go downhill at that point when you're like, you got to remind people.
My generation had to be reminded to bring the kid from the car into the house or wherever you're going,
bro.
So, I mean, I never did personally, but like my generation, the millennials, we had commercials saying, hey, don't forget, or what was it? Leave something important in the car seat so you don't forget the baby.
Leave something important in the back seat to remind you have a child back there. What? That doesn't make any sense. I remember those commercials. I know, like there was a real thing. Okay, your mom says, I hired a fucking PI when they were napped. He kept calling me to tell the kids were riding bikes and shit. What? Yo. When you say PI was like
no fucking bike. I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was 12 because I didn't have no fucking father. Get the fuck out of here! You're a liar, bro. What the fuck? I didn't learn how to chew bubble gum till I was like 15, or blow bubble gum, I should say. I still don't really know how to whistle. I'm trying to hear these telling you I was riding a bike. Get the fuck out of here.
Just so everyone knows, Bubblegum still sends him a Christmas card because of that. Okay. Comedian Cole Clayton was stabbed to death by his Texan mother. I mean, that is the future. Also, those anti-drugs were bullcrap. Nobody ever offered me free drugs. I mean, like, that's the whole thing is like you would have the because you guys have DARE, right? So
they got rid of that for the most part. It's still a thing, but like it's not in school anymore.
When we were in school, is a cop would come in. And there would be two classes. One would be about mothers against drunk driving, which you're like, they would give you all the tricks. And they're like, listen, putting pennies in your mouth doesn't help you not blow. The key is don't drink so much. And I'm like, oh, that's a shit job.
Yeah. Wish they would have taught me in school, because I was in Texas, which is considered the Bible Belt. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Bible Belt, but it's dumb, right? It's
where all the crazies are. Yeah.
Yeah. So they tried to teach us. They tried to teach us. Honestly, in the Bible Belt, there's not really a whole lot of priests. There's more Baptist than it is Catholic.
They're pastors, right? Like that's
pastors. Yeah. But like in high school, they taught us. They were teaching us during right before prom and like homecoming and everything. They would always have a seminar for, like, don't have sex, you're going to get an STD or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if you absolutely have to have sex, nobody has to have sex, by the way, use a condom. So you don't have a baby and you don't bring a baby to school or you catch AIDS or whatever. And I'm like, I'm 14 years old. I'm like, how about teaching half the school to not drive drunk? Like, that's probably more important than catching an STD. You can live with an STD, you know what I mean? Like, most of the time get rid of it with a shot of penicillin.
Listen, let's be honest, is that what the lesson that they should have taught was, hey, no one gets pregnant from finger banging, blowjobs, and anal.
Well,
just let them go. What are you gonna do?
It's not teenagers that have STDs. It's grown-ups. That's 30-year-old people. That's y'all. That's y'all motherfuckers. The teachers. Y'all the ones with the fucking STDs, not us.
And they were trying to give it to the students.
I'm clean. She's clean. She's fucked one, maybe two dudes on the football team. You know, but they've all fucked the same amount of people I have because they're 16 too. 16-year-old dudes don't fuck nobody. Honestly, you should leave the boys out of that seminar and tell the women, because the women out there always having a 28-year-old boyfriend. Like, that's the problem.
Bro, and you know what the worst part was? Like, it was always the smoke show in the school. It was like, I have a 30-year-old boyfriend. And you're like, that's against the law.
Right.
And they're like, no, it's cool. And you're like, no, that's against the law. You're like, right. What are you doing? And they're like, no, he's cool. And you're like, so he's not. He's a fucking predator.
I'm calling the cops, bro. Like...
Okay, let's see here. Cole, your mom says, okay, R. Kelly bridges the gap for STGs now. Cole, you grew up in Texas. The teachers actively fuck the students. I mean, one way or another. That's also a thing.
It never happened to me.
I mean,
about it.
Listen, when I was in school, all the teachers looked like men. So be happy they weren't banging me. I don't want to.
I had a couple of hot teachers.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, we did not. It was always weird that way. But, I mean, that's why now the fact that keeps on happening, you're just like, that's weird. People are like, oh, all these teachers keep on banging students. And I'm like, how are all these people fucking? Just, can you not, like, how do you get your schoolwork done with all the fucking that's happening? It's
right.
It's very confusing. I'll tell you. It's definitely one of those things that I'm like, I am perturbed. Not like I wanted to be banging back then, because that's definitely would have been worse. But
well, I mean, if you're fucking your teacher, do you really need to get your schoolwork done? Surely they're giving you an A.
Can you imagine banging your teacher and then she fails you? I mean, because you'd be like, baby, it's like, don't baby me.
He definitely saw you flirting with Sandy in fourth period.
That's
Like,
exactly what happened. And she's like, "Don't you baby me? You didn't hand in your 3 assignments, you piece of shit." And you're just like, I don't know what happened.
so
I
that's weird.
was busy in French class. And you're like, "No, you weren't. You were under the bleachers, you son of a bitch." Which,
A little birdie told me you have chemistry with Tiffany.
I mean, Tiffany. Tiffany was Tiffany. To be fair, I did most of my banging in high school. I mean, like your head against ceilings or
That's a
door
long time
jambs.
ago, Kyle.
I mean, Kyle was out here fucking. Well, also Kyle looked like a 37-year-old man since he was 15.
Kyle's been alive, not in high school, longer than the amount of time he spent as a child in school. That's the crazy part. He's been alive 21 years, not in school, not in grade school. Whereas, you spend about 13 years in school, 18 of them as a child, so that's the crazy part. And right now I'm just roasting the shit out of Kyle because I know he's freaking the fuck out at the moment. But I just said that, so.
I feel
He's like,
personally
fuck you, Cole!
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to do the math and I'm like, oh, doing math after doing mushrooms during the day, don't do math. That's fact. What's
okay,
up,
I'm pretty
Angie?
good at math.
No, you're not.
I'm great at math. Are you kidding?
He's not.
I'm not great at calculation. There's a difference.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. There's a difference. Mad difference. Big difference.
I don't think so. Anyways, what are you doing? So he bought pizza dough. He rolled it out. Hey, don't assume I was only in school for the minimum amount of time. Okay, I was talking about that with Kyle, and Kyle's like,
I wasn't in school the minimum amount of time either. I was in school like maybe 3 years. So,
and even then, the whole time he was trying to bang his teacher.
Oh yeah,
who was 4 dudes. Just gonna say that's.
I mean, there was like 1 or 2, sure.
So I was talking with Kyle yesterday while I was doing Lego.
Garlic powder, by the way.
Garlic powder, of course. I was talking to Kyle, and we were saying how I'm like, do you think we enjoy the summertime, not just because it's nice weather and there's a lot more to do, but also because like in school we had summer break, like that was the time that we had off, right? Italian seasoning.
What are you saying?
Because it's Italian, not Italian. Could have been worse. Homeschooled.
It's much worse. That's where I spent most of my schooling. It's so much worse.
Oh, I kind of understand why your mom knows how to throw hands at that point. It's just like, yeah. Him as a teenager?
Yeah, corporal punishment didn't end for years. For me, like I was way late in the corporal punishment line.
Hey, it didn't end for me until I made it stop where I'm like, I'm bigger than you. Don't touch me. So, and other people still got the shit smacked out of them. So that's not, yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Don't mess with me. That's fine. Yeah, it's always confusing. One of those weird things. But yeah, we were talking about that, and then Kyle explained how he's like, I mostly had to go to summer school because I would fuck off during the year. And I'm like, damn,
dude, that's crazy. Cause like I fucked off through the whole year, but then every time they were like, oh, you might have to go to summer school. And I was like, no, let me get my fucking grades up real quick. And then I did. Like,
I would actively be like, I don't care.
I legitimately did not give a fuck because I knew I could figure it out every time. I'm like one of those procrastinators is like, yeah, this is all bullshit. And as soon as someone is like, all right, deadline's tomorrow, I'll be like, oh shit. All right, let me get on my shit, bro.
I mean,
I can't tell you how many like week-long projects I had to do that I did in a night. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, I've been there. I remember science fair. That was a shit show. I'm like, yeah, none of it made any sense. That's fine.
the fucking volcano and all that shit.
I never did anything. I was
Onion powder.
All right. It's that's the frustrating part about everything is that people are always like, oh, we're gonna give you this a lot of time. Number one, rules never change. If you want it done by a certain day, just let me know when the day is. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Victoria says, I made a deal with my marketing teacher in high school and would copy the readings and work and just leave. Still got an A. You know what? It's not fair because she was a nerd, but also
Yeah.
I remember when I was in college, there was a communications teacher, which I'm like, number one, I can communicate better than you. So let's start there. Because I'm like, I was actively public speaking for over 10 years at that point in church. So I'm like, I can speak better than you. I don't really give a shit. And he's like, okay, Parmesan. See, okay, hold on. Hold that back up. Hold it back up. Okay. So Parmesan and Romano, that's not a thing. Okay. It's Parmigiano Reggiano is the actual type of cheese. Okay. That shit isn't cheese. That's possibly only wood chips. Okay. Just no, there's no this. Okay.
I feel like you're just a punk.
I'm not. I am a man and I'm bigger than you. The few weeks in the summer did not make up for the 30 days or more I missed during the year. How do you miss that much school? Cole, no, please, no. I mean, yeah. See, that's not. I want
no
like
what? No what? What do you mean no? Oh, because he's Italian.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't validate people who are like, oh, gabagool. I don't validate it. Okay, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay. Hilariously, so Victoria's like, melty wood chips. Thank you, Victoria. Parmigiano Reggiano or Padano. I mean, listen, hilariously, when I was in Cleveland with Cole, we went to Little Italy, which is we ate so much food. It was wonderful. But also at the same time, like, oh, the amount of people who can't speak Italian but are like bobbity boobity boobity bobbity. You're like, get the fuck out of here.
Bobbity boobity.
Yeah.
That's not like shit I would do.
Listen, gabagool isn't a word. It's yeah. Capocolo.
Isn't gabagool something? Like, isn't it?
Capocolo. Yeah.
They're saying capricola? That's what they're saying?
No, I don't know where gabagool, how that connected. Like, don't get me wrong, I laugh my dick off whenever somebody says, give me the gabagool and a mutz. And you're like, those aren't words, you dumb piece of shit. But you know, it's not up to me. I'm not the one who makes those rules. So I feel like you've overlapped them too much, no?
I can pull them apart a little bit.
You might have to. I'm just throwing it out there.
I have a whole nother thing of pizza dough. So.
Hilariously, we did when we were there. I remember we went to like it was like the Italian museum, and we had a whole bunch of pictures. It was really good. And then we went and got Italian beef, which was
God damn, that shit was so good, dude. I still think about that.
Yeah, it was such a good sandwich, and also like just the right amount of juiciness, and then on top of that, then we went for dessert, which pretty good. A little too sweet, but it was still good.
That shit put me to bed, bro.
Yeah, and then we got I was like, let's get a pizza to go, and we took that home because we were all very full. Which the pizza was fantastic, but hilariously, like when we did that, yeah, that was a Cole posted on his Instagram about it. How was it on Facebook or Instagram? I forget where you put it, but
somewhere. Well, if it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook too.
Yeah. And he was just like, man, I got taken out for dessert and all this stuff, and someone's like, oh, you're definitely gonna have to fuck that old man. I'm like, what the hell? It's quite funny.
That was the girl I was talking to. She's like, you're gonna fuck him, aren't you? And I was like, what? No. So then I tweeted about it.
Number one, he's not doing the fucking. Let's start there. Number two, Kyle was like, have you not told him? I'm like, oh, why? Why do you have to do that? Kind of tastes like mortadella and salami. See, I'm not a huge fan of salami. Victoria likes salami.
Salami.
I find it just it's too much. Whereas mortadella, love it.
Mortadella's pretty good.
Mortadella.
Hey, also remember, guys, buy me $2 buys me a vodka shot if you're interested in seeing me get stupid fucked up. We got plenty more time to go, so
It's basically very entertaining. So, but what the hell's that? More pizza dough. Aha! Shenanigans.
Yeah, what do I got? Like
Like
fucking 12 pieces of bread over here? Come on, man. Gotta do better than that.
hilariously though, like that's the one thing that I do appreciate about this, like because the the Insta that you sent me, which was about this recipe, is actually from Taste Made BR. It's Brazil, which I'm like, those people are weird, but I mean, it seems almost like a deconstructed, reconstructed pizza, everything, right?
It's just a fucking, like, it's just a show and tell version of pizza. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I can do, so that's all it is. That's why I was like, oh, we could do that. We could bullshit and talk on the show, make a time out of it. So, but I could do the helicopter.
definitely don't do that. That's a horrible idea. You know what? I also assumed that it was
definitely done the helicopter. So
I listen, and of course, your mom is always swearing like, comment, share, subscribe. Of course,
definitely.
everyone do all the things so that we may grow and be prosperous as we like to do. Oh, yeah, no, that looks good. And then, I mean, I feel like now they're gotten a lot smaller.
You can cut them bigger.
I don't know. I'm not there. I think the important part is that you just do it. Are you not filling them with cheese? You're just doing everything else.
No, I'm not doing all that. That was.
Oh. Just so you guys here. You know what? Let me see if I can pull it up.
Got plenty of cheese already. Like,
I mean, we can always use more cheese.
I don't know. I don't believe in that.
You're a fucking liar.
It's a moderation situation.
I'm sorry. Have you met either one of us? Moderation is not in our vocabulary.
Yeah, and guess what? I was on the fast track and dying at 42. You probably were too.
You're not 42. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was on the fast track to dying at 42.
He makes it sound like he's not dying. Hilarious. Yeah, that's the funnier part. Yeah, it's a pretty good. Like they do the dip and everything. You can also add some. Do you still have any more tzatziki or no?
Yeah, I do have some tzatziki. What do you want? What do you want me to add tzatziki to this?
Because everything is better with tzatziki. Okay?
Yeah, you're a fucking weirdo.
Also true. I made him tzatziki, everyone, just to be clear. And if you want the recipe for that, no, that's the answer.
No.
So I made him tzatziki, and then I used some of it, and then he was like, "Are you just eating tzatziki out of a bowl?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am, because I'm a fucking weirdo. I like it." Anyways, Victoria says, "What is this quote unquote moderation you speak of?" Yeah, not in our house. Okay, don't worry about it, Victoria. Not important. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like hilariously, like the amount of fasting I do, it's like, yeah, I either do eat a ridiculous amount or I just don't eat at all. And I don't know.
I eat one meal a day, but the problem is I like
it's
eat
usually
like 3 meals in one sitting. Like,
yeah. Also, though, like your one meal a day also contains like half a bottle of whiskey, which like that's probably not.
I don't drink every day anymore. That was a thing for a while, sure, but like a few years. Don't do that.
Only when people visit from out of town. This guy shenanigans.
Why you were here like that? Come on. That one night, sure, the night before St. Patty's, I drank a lot, but like,
yeah. And then St. Patrick's Day,
to be fair, you like challenge. You're like, I can drink as much as you. Just like, no, you can't. Get the fuck out of here.
Number one, he was more drunk than I.
Sure, that doesn't mean I can't drink more. I get drunk, but that don't mean I can't drink. I can keep going. There's levels to this.
So, everyone who's watching, yeah, That's what the kind of shit I had to deal with. Where he's like, I can keep going. I'm like, I don't want to hold your hair while you're fucking hugging the toilet, you piece of shit.
Oh, man,
It's my vacation too.
see, I'm a grown man now. When I was 20, sure, but I'm 30 next month. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
if I feel like I have to puke, I just don't because I'm a grown man.
No, it's not about that. It's more so I paid for this shit. It's not coming back.
Whatever it is,
That's really what it
I'm a
is.
grown man.
Yeah.
I don't puke. I don't. Even when I'm sick, I'm like, nah, I'll just be okay.
There is nothing unmanly about vomiting. If you have to, that's okay.
There is.
Moderation is key. Went out to dinner with Dino and Victoria. I think we ordered 9 entrees. That okay. In my defense, I just wanted to try all the stuff. They had a really cool thing, and we learned a lot that some things weren't tasty. Other
9
things were very
entrees,
tasty.
not even just appetizers. What the fuck?
I mean, everything was appetizer size, but like, yeah, we definitely ordered.
Right, but to you,
It's not my listen.
would you go to one of those micro fucking meal stores?
I mean, first of all, you guys ordered 8 of them. Also true, Victoria. Yeah. Kyle and I ordered 4, Kyle ordered 4, and Kyle ordered 3, I ordered 5, and I was like, "Oh, this one is for sharing." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And then Victoria ordered like one thing, and then she pretended to be like,
Kyle was totally trying to pin that on you and Victoria there.
Listen, but not without merit, because Victoria and I consistently overorder all sorts of times. Like, there's no right. Okay, it was lunch. I mean, yeah, exactly. We had so much more time, and also everything was lunch size, so everything was smaller.
All right, so now we're getting to the fun part. Here is our bacon.
Yep. Nice
That's
and
the crispy
crispy.
one.
Love it. Actually, hold on. We should have made this like that. There we go. Much bigger. It was.
Dino's got his own face as the big one.
I switched it immediately as soon as it happened. Thank you very much. Okay, so just calm down. I'm sorry. I'm used to building Lego where I need a big one and a small one, and they're both me. So
they're both.
Yeah. And then Kyle's like, "Ugh, why do I have you in surround sound?" I'm like, "Aha, my face."
It's funny because I'm supposed to be like the ego trip guy in this group, and then Dino's over here with, "You guys see my face, and you guys see my hand. You guys see everything I'm doing."
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And I will also direct it down to my crotch so you can watch that while I'm building my Lego. It's kind of, I feel like the building Lego online, while I have super fun with it, some people, it definitely has to piss them off. But they're like, this motherfucker has a camera, computer, and Lego? Fuck this guy. And I'm like, I also have a loving wife and a roof over my head. So fuck you. I don't give a shit. Yeah. I made great decisions, and now I'm paying for them.
You know, some guy in like Kansas can't fucking afford like internet.
Victoria says, we also have an awesome cat. I mean, we have a cat. He's kind of an asshole too, but I believe that him and my wife are in cahoots. They just try and make fun of me constantly. So, I don't know.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, take our little bit of cream cheese, throw it right in the pan. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to melt cream cheese and mozzarella together with a little bit of flavoring, a little bit of Italian seasonings and stuff like that.
Listen, just to be clear, you earlier used something called Parmesan and Romano.
That's one of the things I'm going to use too.
It was not a real thing. And that's just says kind of explains the state of the universe when it comes to the United States of America. Be like, it sounds like Parmigiano Reggiano. It's Parmesan and Romano. Same thing. And you're like, definitely not. Be very clear, everyone. Very clear. We're definitely just looking at your carpet.
Can you not see it? Oh, my bad.
Did you leave fat in there from the bacon or no?
A little, not a whole
A
lot.
little bit. No.
Um,
I love how you were like, we're gonna use a little cream cheese. 2 blocks go in that. 2 full blocks, people.
I don't know, it's like a block and a half.
It's like a block and a half.
A
What's the
block
big
and a
deal?
half.
No, it's fine. It's reasonable. Totally reasonable. You probably deserved it. I feel like that's the same sound you make when you try and catch a knife with your feet. Which, good thing to live by, people. If a knife falls, it has no handle. Just let it fall on the ground and pick it up later.
How is it so like one of these cream cheeses Dino bought last week, so it was just in there.
Did I? I don't remember.
I was like, fuck it, it's already here. So
Yeah. Well, I'm not there, so yeah, you can just eat it. That's fine.
Right. So
Alright.
I knew I needed a whole one, not a half one. So instead, I decided to go 1.5. This is mozzarella for the record.
I think that's fair. All right. So you're grading. One of the big things too, people, is always buy cheese and grate it yourself. If you do not, it will have an anticoagulant on it, which
Yeah, I don't like that. It tastes salty.
well, it tastes salty, and it's just got a lot of garbage. Which like cheese is
flour,
wonderful.
right, and some other shit.
I
I
wouldn't.
don't like pre-shredded cheese at all.
I wouldn't ask questions about what is it that keeps it from going back together, because that's you find out answers to that question. And
Yeah, it's
not
like
good.
trying to figure out what hot dogs are, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's just hoofs and anuses. They're delicious, but you don't want none. That's why I always laugh when people are like, "Oh, these are all beef." You're like, "Yeah,
Sure.
anuses and feet are still beef. It comes from a cow." So, all right, yeah, the Parmesan and Romano, and it's also spelled like Ray Romano, which are like, that's not a cheese. That's definitely not a cheese, but that's fine.
Sure it is.
Sure. I mean, we throw
Well,
it
that
there.
bacon juice.
Nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's one of the things that we have to get back to, because it was back in the 80s, maybe 90s, when McDonald's chopped garlic, always a good addition. That also might be one that I bought.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, we used yours. Fine.
Right.
We also made like 3 roasts in like the week that I was there. Garlic powder, wonderful.
Your story, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what it was. I took too many mushrooms today, so I enjoyed that trip, but also too, my brain is kind of mush. Italian seasoning.
Oh, am I out? Yeah. That's it.
All right, well,
Italian seasoning.
that's all the Italian he has to give people.
You know, I had all the things to make Italian seasoning.
Yeah, I know.
All together. Easier that way.
Yeah.
Look, I have another one. Look at that. I do have another one.
Another. I feel like also at your house is like, oh, we have a half done Italian seasoning, and then another half done Italian seasoning,
No.
and another half done.
I'll have like 2 open things of milk at any given time. I'm like, why did y'all open the second one when the first one's still open? Like, it's still there. Like,
yeah.
And they just look at me, like my brother and my kid. They're just like, what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I hid the new one in the back. Like, you know what the fuck you did. Like,
listen, I have this argument with my wife, is because she'll have like a bottle of water, and then she's like, it's old. And I'm like, it's water. Just drink it. And she's like, yeah, but it's old. And I'm like, give it to me. I'll drink it. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I don't really want no fucking old ass fucking water either, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't, but I'm not going to waste it.
I am. I'm poured down the sink where it goes and gets filtrated. I don't know what y'all got going on in Canada, but
listen, you.
Y'all don't got good plumbing. Just say that.
You dropped some cheese on the side of your pan. There you go. That is cheese for the chef. Old water is gross, Victoria says, which I'm not saying old water doesn't taste
Don't let
weird.
your husband bully you. That's fucked up. You know, this is 2024. You know, like there are shelters, and you can contact your local senator now. Like y'all have rights.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but you do. You do have rights.
But Kyle says, isn't all water old? I mean, preach, Kyle, preach. Almost looks like marshmallow. The cheese definitely does almost look like marshmallow.
Kind of didn't have that consistency, right? I kind of thought that too. I was like, it kind of reminds me of Ghostbusters a little bit.
I mean, speaking of, we were supposed to go see Ghostbusters the other week, but we had to cancel. We may still go see. We might see it in Florida. I don't know, because we're leaving. I'm going to be documenting my trip in Florida as well. So, by the way, yeah, we got to talk afterward about next Monday, because you guys have last minute history.
Okay, so you can be busy.
Well, it's my wife's birthday, so we're going to be doing things.
Fair.
And I'm also going to be in Florida.
Oh,
so.
your wife's birthday is on April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bro, she told me on our first date, and I'm like, I need to see your ID. I don't believe you. And then she's like, okay, give me your ID. And I'm like, God damn it, for real. All right, cool.
Weird, but okay.
Oh my God, you guys should do a show making marshmallow fun flavors. I mean,
I'm down. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's more of a fall thing just because we can do s'mores and stuff.
Yeah, that would be a thing. Or like, well, to be fair, I like to do what the fuck up my neck because this damn can fucked up. But I definitely just poured olive juice right into that whiskey.
Please never do anything you just did in the last 30 seconds. Oh my God.
Ever?
Okay. So Kyle says, I thought she was talking about coal when she was talking about it looking like marshmallows.
Oh, fuck you, Kyle.
You just need a blender making marshmallows super easy. Kyle says, boozy marshmallows. I mean, boozy marshmallows
I definitely would find a way to make it harder. Like, I definitely would be like, nah, we're not going to use a blender. I'm going to use a knife and a whisk.
And the whisk is going to be this big. It's going to be this tiny little miniature whisk. You know what? In his defense, though,
I don't know where it is right now. It's too tiny.
He used that tiny whisk to
salty whiskey. I poured all that olive oil or olive juice right in my whiskey by accident.
Have you tried with that? There's a drink where people do whiskey and then a shot of pickle brine.
No, but I've heard of it. Yeah, I used to be bartender. That was the thing.
And when people do that, I'm like, you're just retarded. Like, just like, it's so good. I'm like, no.
It's always some women wanting some salty shit. I've noticed. I don't know what it is, but they're like, I want it salty. And I'm like, like a salty dog, a margarita, anything with salt on it. They're like, I gotta get that. Like, y'all got low iron. Y'all need to just eat more beef. That's what it comes down to. Eat more food. Stop fucking drinking margaritas as sustenance.
Or touch some more wieners. Either one. You want something salty, you'll get it. Remember when I made you boozy marshmallows? Yeah, they were delicious. Isn't whiskey sort of salty? No.
Who the fuck said that?
Victoria, she doesn't drink. She doesn't know. Whiskey, no.
Victoria, you don't drink?
No, she doesn't.
That's
She's
terrible.
also... Listen, we went to her friend's house, and her friend, who also doesn't really drink, has started having drinks every so often. So she's like, do you want me to make you a drink? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, make one for Victoria too. And Victoria had like half of one and was out. She had to take a nap. And I'm like, all right. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Can't relate. My baby mom is Irish. Like, I almost died trying to keep up with her.
It says, nope.
Like, another. I'm like, I've only had one sip.
Yeah. Victoria says, nope, there's only one alcohol that doesn't turn me completely red. Which one?
Wasaki. Oh, is that racist?
It's the wrong race, but it might be the answer. I don't remember.
Is it the wrong race? It's the same thing.
I enjoy sake. Actually, you know what? We
fresh jalapeno, by the way.
Fresh jalapeno is always good. We had Mexican for dinner. It was great. Then you got all those shitty olives there. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, Japanese plum wine. Japanese plum wine is super tasty, but super sweet as well. Yeah, delightful.
Like olives. That's weird of you.
Those, in my opinion, aren't olives. Those are pretend like little rubber tires. That's what they are. Okay.
They're so good.
I mean, that's debatable, but okay. All right.
So this cheese you can really bake for a while. So like you don't gotta worry about it. Just throw it right in there, and then once this dough is done, that's when you pull it out.
Yeah. So Victoria says those are Pizza Hut olives. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. These are cheap canned olives.
like Victoria's had olives in Greece from my orchard. So.
Oh, I'm not gonna go out and say those are like fucking quality olives, but I fucking love olives, whether they're cheap or expensive. I don't give a fuck. I do not prejudice or whatever the word is.
Discriminate.
Yeah, that's the one.
And we have more wood chips for the fire. I love it.
Some Harmony wood chips, some garlic powder.
Absolutely.
Throw some more. Oh, you know what? We'll go parsley for color.
Okay. I was gonna say maybe leave that to the end, but that's fine. Whatever.
No, because it's like neon green, you know. So I'm not convinced it's real parsley. So it'll cook and look more realistic as it goes. I don't know. Dried parsley it looks fake.
Yes.
Where is? No, it's looking very white pizza-esque. Let's throw our sausages on there. Boom, boom. This is already pre-cooked sausage. It's Italian sausage, just crumbled. This actually came from my brother's last job. They were like, "Hey, since we're gonna fire you in a couple days, and we're not gonna tell you, here, have some sausage." You brought a whole shitload, like pounds and pounds of frozen Italian sausage, and then they fired him.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something people do before they fire you. It sounds like a reason why they fired you. Like, he fucking took all the sausage, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. As he just
probably, you know, that's a good point. That's probably what happened.
I mean, someone's like, hey, you should take this home, and he's like, cool, free sausage, and they're like, hey, that new guy, he just walked out with all the sausage. That's basically what happened.
Somebody got him, bro. Somebody got him. All right.
Like, I feel like that is definitely something that my generation does to the younger generation, where they're like, yeah, it's cool, you should do that. And then when you do it, they're like, fucking idiot. Watch this. They're like, yeah. Immediately.
Take our pizza sauce, pour it right over that cream cheese. And then Dino's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's all good. What were you saying?
I don't know what you're doing right now.
What were you saying?
I was saying that is what my generation would do to young people, is that we would shenanigans.
Shenanigans. That's just getting somebody fired. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but it's funny. Let's be honest.
It's funny to get people fired?
And also, no, it's funny if you were like, hey, yeah, you should definitely do that. And they're like, cool. And you're like, yeah, fucking idiot. And then they do it, and you're like, oh, that was a mistake. And they're like, well, you told me. I'm like, no. I encouraged you. I didn't tell you to. Why wasn't the sauce on the bottom? I mean, Victoria.
On the bottom.
So this is pull apart pizza. I mean,
basically.
I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of things today. I'll tell you that. Let's start there.
Don't know nothing.
I mean, it's been a day.
Dino likes to pretend. He doesn't.
I mean, and now you're putting pepperoni on top. So it's basically a all crust pizza, but the toppings are dippable. That's what it is.
Like, that's probably better. Like, could you imagine if somebody gave you a dip pizza and you didn't know, like, say, surprised you? You're like, what the fuck? Oh, this is actually amazing. What the hell?
Well, so here's the thing.
A prank almost.
Similarly,
this should have been our April Fool's Day episode.
I mean, yeah. April Fools, it's still delicious. Haha, suck it. Um, that does look like good pepperoni though.
Yeah, it's quality pepperoni, bro. I don't
Yeah.
stamp on my pepperoni.
What was the place we got those sandwiches from?
What?
Alessi's?
Which sandwich? Which
The
time?
the second one.
The deli?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leslie's. Dude, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Dude, like, I consider Cleveland like a sandwich hub. Like, we got so many good. How many good sandwiches have you had since you come to Cleveland? Every time you come to Cleveland, we always go somewhere
Oh,
different. You know,
yeah, yeah. At least we went to DeBella's.
DeBella's,
We went to
Corbo, Aleshi's,
Best Gyro.
Best Gyro. There's so many good sandwiches out here.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is a good sandwich is a whole deal, right? Like people who are like, here's a sandwich. It's one slice of bologna, maybe some Kraft single, a little piece of cheese, and that's it. And you're like, what the fuck did you give? Like, if somebody gave that as a sandwich, I'd be like, did I wrong you? Like,
Right.
what did I do to deserve this? Like, it's very peculiar to me.
Are you being so fucked up to me, man?
I mean, that's the thing is like, I remember when I went to Kyle's on a previous episode. If you haven't seen everybody, please feel free to check that out, where we made sandwiches.
Sure.
And those sandwiches were like top tier, bro. And I'm like, you can't make a good like you can't make a shitty sandwich and then expect people to go, oh, this is great. You're like, no. I remember telling my mom, I'm like, I want bologna. She's like, why? It's disgusting. And I'm like, oh, everybody else has. I want to try it. And she got it for me, and I was like, oh, this tastes like shit. She's like, yeah, that's why I don't buy it, idiot. I'm like, all
She
right.
said that to you?
Yeah. Well, she was nice. She's like, this is why I don't buy it. Come on, this is not good for people.
The idea that your mom bought you food out of altruism is the funniest shit I could think of.
I mean,
Like, I'm gonna buy it, and he's gonna learn.
Yeah, that's kind of my whole upbringing. Yeah, go for it. And then you hurt yourself, and you're like, that's why you're stupid, because you don't ask. You just, I got a bacon Swiss burger. I mean, a bacon Swiss burger. I'm not a huge Swiss. I'm not a huge Swiss cheese guy, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say no to Swiss cheese. Like, I'm not a monster. I'm just.
There's not a cheese that I've had that I didn't like.
I've never tried the one with maggots in it, though.
I mean, nobody's ever served me something with live maggots in it, but.
So apparently, if the maggots are dead, it's gone bad. And I'm like, that.
Dude, no, I'm not gonna try that. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna try that.
Well, that's the same thing where
I've
they're
had
like
normal cheeses.
Yeah.
And never been led astray.
Listen, it's the same thing where people are like, the best coffee is coffee beans that have been pooped out by like a feral cat. And I'm like, no. You're disgusting, you fucking weirdos. That's why everyone, you're like, yeah, you guys are dirty. That's why.
The problem is I know they're probably right. They're like, oh yeah, it probably is delicious. I'm just not about that life, you know.
You know what? I feel like a lot of people need to learn this is that so there's a lot of advice for things on the internet. Okay, let's just start there. And it's not like it's bad advice, but the fact is it's advice that you could use if you were, training for the Olympics or a professional athlete. The rest of us are just trying to not be fat. Okay, this is not the same thing. Right? Like, it's not, and that's why, like, listen, people are like, oh, well, this is the best. Okay, yeah, but I'm not a sommelier for coffee, you fucktard. I just want something that tastes okay. Right? It's not very complex. That's why people are like, oh, like, I've had Blue Mountain coffee, which I'll tell you is only from Jamaica, and it is so good.
Right? I'd have to try that. I love coffee. I love coffee.
Blue Mountain is very, very delicious, and I'll tell you, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's worth paying extra for. But also, when people are like, the only thing better is if a cat has already eaten, you're like, nope, no, just stop there.
No, it's okay. That coffee's already been consumed. I don't, as far as once a cat drinks coffee, I'm like, well, that's that coffee. I'm gonna go somewhere else now. You know, like I don't need it after.
No,
A cat drinks it first. To me, it's done. It's over with. You know.
absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those things where you're like, clearly, whoever did that, fucking weirdo.
Consider the fact that I've smelled cat piss. You know what I mean? That shit smells horrible. Why the
Oh,
fuck would you? Who was like, oh,
okay,
I gotta have that coffee? Who
to
was
be
the first
clear,
guy?
hold on. The cat doesn't drink the coffee. The cat eats the berries that have the coffee
The
beans in
bean?
them, and it poops out the beans. Okay,
Regardless.
so
Regardless.
yeah,
Whatever the fuck
I'm
it
not
is.
disagreeing with you. I just want to make sure you don't think
I
that
didn't know that, but I
cats
didn't.
drink coffee, piss it out, and people are like, delicious. Like that's
To,
not
to
it's
be
not the
honest,
series of events that
I
happen.
didn't even know that that was a thing. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
until you told me this 5 minutes ago. I didn't know people were feeding coffee to cats, and they were like, "Oh yeah, try it." No,
No, you can't actually do it in a controlled environment. It has to be wild. So you have to hunt down this weirdo
no,
cat poop. It's not joke. It's not a joke.
oh, I believe you,
No.
but at the same
Now,
time, I don't believe you.
now I gotta Google it. So hold on, give me 1 second here, and I'll
You don't gotta Google it.
coffee uh
That sounds like some
coffee
shit that's made up by the internet to fuck with people.
coffee from cat poop. There it is. Okay, it's called Kopi Luwak, is also called civet coffee. Civet is the animal that eats it. It's very it looks like a cat, but it's not.
Okay, but every
Um,
Russian I've ever met whose name was Svetlana was a real bitch. So I'm not gonna even try that. Just not.
here, hold on. So I'm going to share this with you because I just want your reaction because it's hilarious.
No, come on, man. I don't want to show that. Not on the show.
No.
Come on.
So
This
this
is a
is the
family
no,
show.
I'm not putting up the cat poop. I'm telling you that's the animal. It's called a civet.
So it's not even a cat.
No, it just looks a little bit
Look,
cat-like.
it looks like a fucking bear. Like a baby bear, like a koala bear, like a rabid koala bear.
Sure.
Like an angry
And
koala bear. It looks like a chupacabra. Like if
I
the
mean,
chupacabra was real, if somebody was like, "What is that?" and they're like, "The chupacabra," I'd be like, "I could see it."
sure. So what happens is this thing eats the stuff, and then so those right there, those little berries are coffee. Okay. So inside there are the seeds. That's what gets
Nope.
roasted and thinged.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you for your own
Pretty
benefit.
weird that we eat cheese in the first place, which the concept of that comes from an animal too, but it was produced by an animal, and then it was like not only was somebody like, "Oh, so cute. I see why you're with your man."
Yeah, because she likes
He
things
likes
furry.
feral
And
stuff. That's a
that's
wookalar. That's
what
what
the
she
hell's a
has.
wookalar?
Wookalar is how my mom kept me out from sneaking out at night. She's like, the Wookalars are gonna get you. I'm like, Mom, I'm 14. I don't fall for that anymore. She's like, you hear that? And I'm like, kind of did actually. Yeah, I'm gonna stay
Okay,
home.
that's not a wookalar. A wookalar looks much worse. Also, is like a pig face person. What the fuck is this? Who also has a beer called Wookalar Stout. Now I got to show you this damn thing. Wookalar. How does that and that thing look the same? I'm just.
You ever been snipe hunting?
Have I ever been what now?
Snipe hunting?
Snipe hunting?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I have to take you next time you come to Cleveland. We're gonna go snipe hunting, and we'll get it on YouTube and everything. We'll document it. There's snipes near me in the woods. Remember when I took you to go get those wings in that woodsy area?
Ooh,
There's a lot of snipes out there. We can go
smoked wings.
get some.
Highly recommend them.
Smoked wings were good though, right?
They were fantastic.
But yeah,
Hilariously,
snipe hunting, you just need a stick. You don't need a gun because they're small. So we can just go wherever. There's no like laws on it. So
what is that?
a snipe,
Cole, yes, snipe. What is a snipe?
it's like a bird, like a little, it's kind of like a tall bird. It's like a 4-foot bird, but it's real slender, kind of similar to what a crane, similar to that.
Okay, and what are we supposed to do with it?
You hit
That's
it over the head, and then you kill it. You hit it over the head with a stick. You put it in a bag, and you just go and grill it or cook it, deep fry it, whatever.
I feel like you're
But
enlisting
there's
me
an
to do.
overpopulation problem in the states,
Oh.
so like they just kind of let you just hit them because they're invasive. So
Serge is like, it's all lies.
what's
I
like
mean, basically everything you say.
maybe.
I mean, he's not completely wrong.
For the record, I got vanilla Jim Beam today
Because he's a twat.
to go with my Coca-Cola. So it's like a vanilla Coke. Mr. Phillip.
Vanilla Coke. You know what you sound like? It's like people in the 80s who had
Like I lived in the 90s.
Yeah. Like I have vanilla Coke with vanilla Jim Beam.
I'll
and
have a
add some
chili
vanilla.
cheeseburger.
Yeah. I mean,
Chili cheeseburger ain't bad though. I've had those. Not
I
bad.
haven't had a Coke in
It's a
such a
big
long
thing.
time.
I remember it was a big thing when I was like a little kid. Everywhere you go, hey, you want a chili cheeseburger? Why do you need that? Like, this isn't a hot dog. It's not bad, but like, come on. Like, you're being aggressive.
Well, I feel like a chili cheeseburger is like a sloppy Joe on like
The
Kuma.
sloppy Joe's a little different. Like sloppy
I
Joe,
like a sloppy Joe.
I do too, but it's not like chili. Sloppy Joe is kind of like a similar. It's like it's almost ketchup, but it's not. But it's almost tomato sauce too. Like it's not
Yeah.
more in
Yeah.
that category.
It's more like a ragu
Sweeter.
instead of a chili. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweeter. Chili's more like savory, I guess.
Yeah.
More
Also,
dark.
Surge, that's a solid point. Just like blinker fluid for your car. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely enlisting me. He's gonna send me out into a
What
forest.
the
He'd be like,
fuck
yeah,
is that? Help me out,
just-
sirs. We could have had great content. That's all I said. I could have taken Dino, his fat ass, to the woods, and then he'd be like out there with a GoPro talking about, I don't see any snipes. Yeah, because they don't exist, you dumb fuck. And by the way, a snipe hunting is how Southerners get either Yankees or their kids on a prank. They just like they're like, hey, you want to go snipe hunting? This is something every Southerner has told every one of their children or every person who's not from the South, and they get them in the woods and they fuck with them. I've been got, everybody gets got at some point in their life.
why are you such an asshole?
It's
Amy,
a
I blame
Southern
you.
thing. It's a Southern thing.
Okay, so bless your heart though. So
Yeah, the whole South is fake as fuck, bro.
yeah,
They don't love you for real.
No, they do not. They do not love anything, and there's like
They're sweet and hospitable, but they are not.
The first time
that
I
tea is
learned,
sweet, yeah, sure, but it'll give you diabetes.
the first time that I heard "bless your heart," I was like, that sounds like a compliment, but I don't think it's a compliment. And then someone explained to me, they're like, ah, yes, bless your heart, because God did not give you brains. And you're just like, Jesus Christ. Like, that is savage as fuck.
So I started this dip for 5 minutes, or I'm sorry, for 12 minutes. Yeah. I added 5 minutes because the bread's still kind of not done yet. So
fair enough.
So we're looking at them so far 17 minutes, give or take. Everything's stacked on it, so it's probably taking a minute for the heat to get to it. But
I mean, it's also everything is getting quite gooey, right? So this is going to be a good thing, and then we can get a definite thing.
Yeah, the cheese isn't even like toasty yet, so.
Snipe hunting was on King of the Hill.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that it's on that show too.
Just to be very clear,
that show, you know what the fuck it is.
I Googled what's a snipe bird, and it's like, oh yeah, all these things came up, and I'm like, what? All this shit is fake? And I'm just like, oh, you guys.
Yeah. The internet will fuck with you too, dude. That's why my kid will come to me and tell me about some dumb shit he read he either read or saw on YouTube or the internet or whatever. I'm like, dude, it's not real. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, it's fucking not.
Yeah. Like, so, and the best part is Wikipedia is even like, okay, so a snipe is any of about 20 species belonging to the shorebird family. But snipes frequent wet meadows. You're like, what the fuck? And it lists them, and you're like, oh, there's snipes, woodcock, pin-tailed snipe, common snipe, great snipe, and you're like, you're all a bunch of a-holes.
People have Wikipedia this shit, and they're like, "Oh, okay, everything seems legit." And then
And you're like, all right, it seems weird, but okay.
Wikipedia is on the joke, man. That's some real homie shit on Wikipedia's part. Like they're on your side. If you're trying to sell a joke, a prank, Wikipedia's like, "We got you, bro. We got you."
Bro, and it's like got a green check mark as like this is legit. And you're like, no, it's not.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, bro. Oh my god.
Camouflage may enable snipes to remain undetected by hunters in marshland. The bird is also highly alert and startled easily, rarely get the fuck out of here. It's even got like a Japanese painting from the 1900s to
It means it
1930.
goes back far. It means the Japanese probably invented it.
Yeah, because Japanese actively will fuck with you. Let's be
Right.
honest. They're like, they will immediately be like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. That's exactly how you should use a sword. And you're like, nope. You know why? Because I got one finger less. Yeah.
It is hilarious.
I mean,
But every culture is like that, though. Every culture will fuck with foreigners, though, right? Like, there was
Yeah.
when I was living with my baby mama, she lives in a very highly densely populated Orthodox Jew population. Like, there's a lot of Orthodox Jews in her neighborhood, and they walk to
like
temple.
in the tunnels, or yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
right. No, they walk to temple, right? They don't drive.
Yeah.
And one day I was on my way to do like a comedy show, ironically enough, and I seen them walking around with like those strings or whatever that
Yes.
they hang from their pants, and I didn't know what those were, and so I rolled my window down. I was like, "Hey, buddy, what are those?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" The strings that you got. He was like, "They're called power strings. They give us our strength." And I thought he was being for real. So I had to go ask my very, very, very Jewish comic friend,
Named Atlas
Adam
Nova.
Gable from New York City. And he was like, that dude was fucking with you, dude. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Which also,
oh.
just to be clear, this is Wikipedia, and it's got snipe.
Yeah,
Snipe is anyway 26 wading birds, and just assume like essentially it tries to make it like it's just a bird on the shore. They just call them snipes, and this is how you hunt them. And you're like, yeah, you're all a bunch of dickheads. Be very clear.
Not a thing at all.
I love it. So are snipe real? We could have actually been hunting. Well, you can. Are they real? I mean, not really. Like, are they real? Yes. Aren't they real? No.
Maybe they are real. I don't know. Like, you want to go try?
I do. Just, hey, man, if it's gonna build content, I'll do it. I'll happily
I
jump
feel
in.
like, man, Serge really had, like, he really had to, like, blow that for me because I could have had you, and not only that, but I feel like I would have been good for our YouTube had you really believed.
That's because Serge isn't a bad person. Okay?
That's fair.
You, on the other hand, absolutely fucking horrible.
I'm just mad that I got. That's what it is. I need to get somebody else. Which, to be fair, I've got like 4 other people, but like because I got once, I need to get everybody that I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm soulless or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like there's a certain line. Like I have this problem where if people tell me something, I go, okay, because I just assume people aren't lying.
Oh, I do the opposite. I assume everybody's lying.
No, well, that's the thing is,
the minute you open your mouth, I'm like, this is bullshit. Like I gotta like coordinate it and check it out and research it and ask all the people around and be like, is that guy a bullshitter? And they're like, nah, he's cool. And I'm like, okay, I trust you. No, I don't.
Love how your mom is like, just take him cow tipping.
Now, cow tipping is a thing, but I have a story about that I'll tell you some other time because, like, that's a long story. But
so, just
it involves a bull.
Sounds like it involves a lot more than just tipping. Maybe a little romance and dinner.
I got changed by the bull, bro. Like I told you the alligator story. The alligator story is boring compared to the fucking cow tipping story.
Cow tipping is mean. I mean,
to the cows? Yeah, well,
I'm hold on. So I've heard that they're like you can't tip a cow.
Oh yeah, you can.
But then I'm like, you could tip anything because I'm me being the size of a land monster. I'm like, oh, I could tip anything over.
You can totally tip a cow. You gotta get it while it's sleeping though. It'll run away from you.
Sure.
If it's awake.
Well, in my opinion, is the same like a cat, where it's like cats always land on their feet. I'm like, yeah, but you could just push them over, and they're like, meow. Right? That's what I do to our cat. Right now, I'm on hiatus from touching the cat because he tried to bite me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pet you. And he keeps on meowing at me. I'm like, I'm not petting you. Fuck you. Don't bite me. You get pets. You bite me, you get no pets. It's just how that works. You want to check on the
already did.
Non-pizza pizza?
We're still going. The dough's taking a second. Do his thing. It's starting to get there.
You just so you know, like a plume of smoke came out. I think you should probably take it out.
Nah.
I mean,
the dough's not done. It's the grease. The grease is burning.
I definitely feel like you're of the opinion. You're like, I like the charred bits. That's the kind of asshole that you'd be like, I like it that way. Okay.
I'm also charred bits is the good part of the burnt ends.
No. Okay.
It's literally called burnt ends.
Let's be very clear. Okay. There's a difference between some char, which will add flavor and depth. And no, you left it too long and you fucking burnt it. Just admit it.
Natural laxative.
I don't know about that.
Damn,
I've got to stop biting Tina.
Go ahead and read Kyle's fucking little bullshit, and then I'm gonna talk. Go ahead and research things too. Go ahead.
Bite to hold you still so they can try to clean you. I mean,
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But hold
on.
You don't get to talk shit, okay? You came over to my apartment and I fed you. I took you to places, the best places that I could think of in Cleveland. And then when you came up, when you were here and we were up in the middle of the night because we're fucking degenerates, I cooked for you after we ate already. And then you told me, this is amazing. You're talented. I don't want to hear your shit. Okay, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
No. I didn't say you didn't, but I'm just saying you also won't admit when you're wrong because you are you. So
I do admit when I'm wrong, but only when I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's hard. It's hard because I usually don't think I'm wrong. I have to know I'm wrong for me to admit to it.
Get the fuck out of here. Also, you did make me a killer corned beef sandwich.
Bro, I changed corned beef for you for life, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Did you see what I did? It wasn't nothing fucking hard. Just fucking garlic and boil that shit.
A bald-faced lie.
What is a bald-faced lie? We've said so much. You gotta be specific.
You need to be specific. Come on.
It's so fucking hot.
Yeah, and also smoking, but still.
All right.
I haven't had a cigarette since this afternoon, and I'm really think after this I'm gonna go
a cigarette. You're smoking again?
Shut up, man. Okay. I quit for like a year and a half, and now I'm trying to quit again.
That looks like a pizza, right?
It looks fucking good.
I want to take a picture of it. I want to send it to you.
Please do. Cole, you never about when you're wrong. It's because you physical anguish. That's not English, but I think she's trying to say that.
My mom's probably drunker than me now.
I mean, somebody is.
I don't admit when I'm wrong. It's just like my mom is wrong more than I am. So.
I mean.
She doesn't want to admit. She's the one that doesn't admit it. She's like, you're wrong. I'm like, no, you're wrong.
I mean, there is nothing funner than two people who are wrong arguing over who is more wrong. It's very entertaining for me, at least. Kyle said, so much to learn. Oven equals hot. I mean.
Oh, fuck you, Kyle. Also, by the way, me and Kyle are doing a show tomorrow called Sketched Out. We're talking about people's sketches for tomorrow. We're talking about sketch he did. which is those funny little videos you see on the internet, whatever.
Yeah. See you later, Serge. Thanks for stopping in, buddy, and I hope
Bye,
you have an
Sarge.
enjoyable evening. It really looks good. It really does look good. Sort of like a garlic bread crust pizza. That's basically what it is.
I feel like every time I do something, people are like, Cole seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. And then I always like show up, and then
You
those
know
same
what?
people are still always surprised.
Also, by those people, he is also talking about me because earlier today I'm like, have you
You're
thought
one of
about this? He's like, I'm gonna do that. We've been doing that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you give off such retard vibes that I'm like, I forget you're not retarded. That's not on me. That's just science. It's not, it's not personal. I really kind of want to change that to our background, to be honest with you.
What, the pizza?
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Kyle's like, I'm walking to get a pizza after this. I mean,
Yeah. Kyle lives near a really good pizza place, right?
I have no doubt you guys do good food. Dino and Cole make a great team. I mean,
yeah. I mean, next time you really should bring your wife, get a hotel, but bring your wife to Cleveland, and we can do the same shit we already did with her, and like it'll be more romantic because it's Little Italy, like whatever, and she'll know what the fuck we're talking about.
See, here's the only issue is that a lot of the time when when I try and impress my wife is she will compare it to other things we've had in the past. And then she's like, it's not as good as this one. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, can you not be like that? And then
everybody knows. No, it's still good. Everybody knows Cleveland's not as good as New York. But
in all honesty, there's just less crazy, but more poverty. If that makes any sense. So we have pictures here. We have up close. We have.
It looks like a pizza. You can't even tell it's a dip.
Yeah, it looks top tier. Looks great, buddy. I mean, yeah. And that's how he got salmonella. No, it's dang.
Bro, this is good.
Angie, if you're still watching, I hope you're feeling better. Angie has a cold and pneumonia and like.
Oh no, Angie, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. But bro, that looks really tasty. Also having like we just had dinner before the show, I'm very tempted to be like, I'm gonna go buy some smokes and maybe a pizza and bring it home and just see what happens. Because I mean, also yeah, we're traveling to Florida.
There's good pizza in Florida, huh? There's all those fucking retired mobsters out there.
I assume as much. So I'm trying to figure out a schedule for things to eat. Because my mom's there too, so we're gonna try and take her out and do stuff. It should be fun. It should be exciting.
Definitely seafood.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge seafood guy. Just because I'm more I'm not against seafood, but I'm more like gotta be in the mood for seafood. And also too, like I think there's too many times where people are like, do you want to go for seafood? And I'm like, sure. And then they're like, it's all deep fried, and you're like, that's not really seafood. Let's be.
Yeah, cool. I'm kind of with you on that. Deep fried seafood is a different thing.
And don't get me wrong, I love good fish and chips. Like I will stab somebody for good fish and chips freely, right? Mind you, I'd stab somebody for lots of reasons. Just to be very clear, this needs to be a solar eclipse meal. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
It was good. No, I'm with you on that though, because like, I feel like if you prefer deep fried seafood, then you don't really like seafood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we do need to do some fish on the show. We haven't done fish yet on the show. I don't believe. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm down.
At some point, we'll do some salmon or something. I got a really good stuffed salmon. Where you take crab cakes and stuff it inside of salmon, kind of stuff it.
So we like. So Victoria and I do go for lobster every so often. She's a big fan of lobster, but I'm like, I am a real fan of crab.
Lobster
and like, hey, good crab cakes are solid.
Crab, lobster, shellfish, what is it, crawfish, all that shit, man.
I've never had like a crawfish, like a boil, but I do kind of want to try it. But I want, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do it in like Louisiana
Yeah,
or
you gotta
somewhere.
do it with me. You gotta do it with
Yeah.
me. Maybe me and my mom will like plan go down to New Orleans. I can't go down to New Orleans without my mom. That's just not gonna happen. But yeah, we'll have to go to New Orleans and get real crawfish. That's just so good, dude.
Yeah. So like I know that there's we're planning on like, this is the thing, is a lot of our vacations revolve around what are we going to try to eat. But just because
No, that's a good marriage.
yeah,
That's the kind of
well,
marriage I want.
my wife is trying to murder me but also loves me, so I'm like, it's in
My
between, right?
I had a baby mama who was like a foodie, you
Yeah.
know? She was a foodie. She loved food, but she wasn't like to me where it's like a lifestyle. I was like, so anytime we would go out, I'm like, what are we gonna eat? And she'd be like, we'll figure it out. I'd be like,
No. There's there has to
well,
be,
come on.
yeah.
We'll
Like
figure it out
I'll
now is what we're gonna
yeah.
do.
Well, how do I know where we're going if we haven't planned? I don't know that they're gonna have food.
That's,
What if it's all
that's
shit?
why that relationship didn't work because she was like a foodie. She loved food. Whereas like me, like I can't have bad food. I refuse, you know? Like
Listen, Amy, pinch the tails and suck the heads is also how you get arrested, just to be very clear. The scale keeps tipping one way or the other. I mean, honey, that's like, look, the idea that people are like, oh, we'll just figure out something to eat. I'm like, what? No, that's not okay.
figure it out now, bro.
Yeah, we need to know. I need to know, otherwise I'm not coming. Like, that's now my question is, oh, is there gonna be food? Is there gonna be drink? And people are like, oh, you can bring whatever you want. I'm like, okay, but then I'm bringing it for myself or am I bringing it for everybody? Because those are two different equations. Because as you know, I will stand there and be like, oh, I'll go buy booze. I'll buy booze for everything, right?
That's
And
kind of my question when I ask people. When people are like, "You want to come out, hang out, or whatever?" I'll be like, what's the
what's the
food
plan?
situation?" You know, like
Yeah, I'm
because
like, God,
that is the make or break. You know,
listen, Victoria and I will always like, people are like, oh, do you guys want to try this place? And I'm like, hold on one second, and we'll look through the menu and be like, okay, yeah. Also,
I look through the reviews because I'll try anything, even
I
if
don't.
I've had it before and it sucked. I'll still try it.
So our thing is, I'm like, if the reviews, if it's not ranked well, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, well, let's look at the reviews. Let's see, because some people are just assholes or they're just bomb a restaurant and everything. I'm like, I'm not, fuck you guys, right? But I think the one key component there is like, it's the same thing like when you watch like a TV show or a movie description and they're like, brought to you by this critically acclaimed, get fucked immediately. Just absolutely go fuck yourself, right?
100%.
Whereas, so if the recipe is like, this is traditional from an ancient, fuck off, just immediately. You know why? The best
Oh, I don't
description.
fuck with traditional.
Yeah,
You know,
listen,
we're in
listen.
America. This whole country's not traditional. You
It's
know,
a hodgepodge of who the fuck knows. Okay, it's edible. It's spiced. Eat it.
traditional
Um,
food sucks. I've had traditional food enough times to know that, like, y'all
bro,
were still boiling food. Like,
listen. Okay, so just to be clear, so this is what Walkie Talkies You Need is making. It's a ragu that takes time, effort. You're gonna have to spice it. You can see he already has vegetables in there. He's got carrots, onions, all good. Now, I have met so many wops that are like, our family recipe is like super, it's like generationally old. And I'm like, I ate it, and I'm like, this still tastes like tomatoes. Your sauce sucks. Okay.
yeah, I don't
There you
do the
go.
family recipe thing either. I'm of the opinion that, like maybe down the line in 100 years, family recipes will be better, but I'll be dead by then. But like as of right now, if you can't make a good dish on your own, I don't really want what you eat. You know?
So this is the thing too, is like on when I'm traveling, I'm gonna be cooking. And I told my mom, like, I because I made her some lamb and it turned out it was okay. It needed a little more. She threw it in the mic because I smoked it here and then brought it to her, which is like an hour drive. And she was like, it needs a little bit more. So like put it in the microwave for a minute and it was perfect. The ragu should taste like red wine and
For the
tomatoes. I'm like,
record,
yeah,
where's that char?
that is char. I will give you that, sir. and it looks delicious.
Anyway,
fun.
what was Victoria's name?
But the whole idea is that like the only family recipe that I have that is like I guard very importantly is like the tzatziki, which I made for you,
That
which is
tzatziki is good. It tastes better every day.
every day.
I tried a spoonful or so every day. I'm trying to
I
figure out
mean,
what to
listen,
do with it because I was like, what do? You put it on gyro or euro or whatever. But like I know that much, but like what else do you put it on?
I
I dipped
I'll,
it. I put hot sauce in it and dipped chicken nuggets in it, and that was
100% super good.
But like,
I would actually,
what else is it on? Like, I know they don't just make tzatziki just for Euro.
well, for meat in general,
So any meat, okay.
any meat, yeah. But like I would highly suggest like taking a little bit and even putting it on one of those pieces that you're making, and it will, because it pops with a little extra, like, because there's a certain amount of creaminess from cheese, but is different when you do tzatziki, right? Because it's a different thing, but also that'll add protein. So,
So
and a little, but yeah.
maybe next week we should do um, a like a Euro that's baked rather than on a spit. I don't know. Are you against that? Like almost like a meatloaf type of thing?
Maybe we should just make meatloaf, and then
Like a lamb meatloaf?
I mean, it's not a bad idea, because then it's more like
And
a donut.
pita?
Yeah, basically, we'll do that. Okay.
Greek
Anyway,
meatloaf.
Greek meatloaf, Greek
That's what
loaf.
it's called.
Call
Greek
it
loaf.
Greek loaf, and exactly how that sounds, it will be a mess. But anyways, so thank you everyone for watching. This has been Hammered with Cheese, and this was Pizza Dip. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to let us know, and we will definitely try and do it. And I will be on location. We're going to try and do more stuff. We may do random episodes. I'm definitely going to be doing reels daily of stuff. I'm not going to be doing, I'm going to do some Lego starting tomorrow. You guys have your show tomorrow, which is Sketched Out, which is at 7:30 or 8:30?
8:30. 8:30
Eastern. 8:30 Eastern, which is going to be on Stiff and Glue 22 and Kyle Petrilla's channel. If you haven't already subscribe there. We have Saturday, which is the best damn,
the greatest goddamn show on air.
there we go, which is on Saturday
Every Saturday about 5.
at about 5. Sunday is going to be Generation Dan. I'm going to be on site in Florida, but then we're going to start cooking. I'm going to be doing some random stuff. Cole hopefully is going to be able to show up, and we will reverse roles while I'm cooking. I may even have my mama on some stuff, but I'm not. I'm going to try and keep her off camera and watch her just go, Dina, don't talk like this to people. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to tell people, yeah, but I will be talking like this. So, yeah, that's going to be.
I have a way different mom than you.
Yeah, my mom loves me. It's different.
My mom loves me too. She just don't know how to do it.
She doesn't know how to love. I understand. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's not it's not surprising. It's okay. That's what happens when you are from Texas.
She's like, I don't care if somebody died. I'm not hugging you.
And you're like,
that's weird.
Why? Why?
Are you gay? Like, come on, you coming out the closet?
See, I always look at women. I'm like,
I have a brother who's in prison right now, and I've asked her a million times, like, when can I go see my brother in prison? She's like, I don't know. He's dodging the question. I was like, he's gay, isn't he? He has a boyfriend. She's like, probably.
Hey, if anything, multiple boyfriends.
Right.
Multiple boyfriends. Okay. To be very clear. Anyways, this has been Hammered and Cheese doing Pizza Dip. We will be back next week with more shenanigans and tomfoolery. It should be entertaining. We may be going a little bit later next week. It depends. Well, I'll try and figure it out. It's not, I'm going to be just in a different location, so we'll try and figure it out. Maybe earlier.
Good.
All right. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day, everyone. Anything else from you?
That's it, man.
All right. Oh, also check it out on Kyle's channel and my channel. Was yesterday we did Life of Giants and we talked about Marcus Aurelius because we're going through the meditations of Marcus Aurelius and trying to kind of learn from those throughout history.
I can try this.
Yeah, but please check it out, and we will be back later. See ya.
Later.